time we're going to be making socks, and you can make any stitch you wish in the top part of the sock. This is called mock cable stitch right there. So this is the simplest of the simple that I found. So what you want to do here is get number 2 double pointed needles, 4 of them, and number 1 yarn, sock yarn. So, and cast on 52 stitches and knit ribbing for the top part 12 rows. But I'll see you on the second one. Okay, so what I did is 1 row of knit 1, purl 1 ribbing across my needle, and then I separated by passing 1 stitch at a time between 3 needles. I have on needle number 1 13 stitches, on needle number 2 26 stitches, and on needle number 3 13 stitches. Make sure that all your cast on stitches are looking toward the inside of your triangle. This is your cast on tail, and this is your working yarn. So make sure that they are all well positioned. Okay, so now you go pick up your stitches with your 4th needle. You're going to start knit 1, purl 1. This is the last one that I knitted right there. Oops, sorry. And I'm going to put them together. So that's needle number 1, and I'm going to do knit, purl, knit, purl, that one can go into that, and now knit, purl, knit, purl, knit. You'll get used to knitting with needle. It's just the first rows that are really awkward. Not difficult, it's just awkward, because you have to make sure that these stitches are not twisted. See these stitches, make sure when you have your triangle that they are not twisted. So I ended up with a knit, therefore the next one is a purl. And I'm using my other needle, the one that it just became empty. So purl, knit, and you go around like this. Be careful you don't twist your stitches. After 2 or 3 rows you're going to feel okay, because they don't tend to twist at all. And I'll see you when I have 12 rows. Okay, so I already did my 12 rows, which is this section here. And now needle number 1, I am going to knit straight stitch. That means knit all the time. And then needle number 2 has the mock cable stitch, and I need to add another stitch. I'm going to do that now. And then needle number 3 has the straight stitch. So that's what we're going to be doing. So this will be called needle number 1, and I am going to do straight stitch. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, needle number 2 has 26 stitches, but I really need 27 because the mock cable stitch has a multiple of 5 plus 2. Therefore, on the first row only, I am going to knit the first stitch. I'm going to purl it from the back and from the front. Whoops. Okay, there we go. And now I am going to slide that purlwise, knit 2 stitches, and pass the purlwise stitch over those 2. And now I purl 2. And now slide that purlwise, knit 2, pass that one over, and purl 2. So slide 1 purlwise, knit 2, and pass that slit stitch over, and purl 2. Now slide, knit, knit, pass over, purl, purl, slide, knit, knit, pass over, and purl, purl. Now the next 13 stitches I knit. Round number 2 of the mock cable, I did my 13 knitted stitches from needle number 1, and then I'm doing my mock cable here. This time I am going to purl 2, knit, yarn over knit, purl 2, knit, yarn over knit, purl 2, knit, yarn over knit, purl 2, and knit, yarn over knit, purl 2, knit, yarn over knit, and purl 2. And then on needle number 3 you knit. Round number 3, to show you the mock cable, the 13 stitches on needle number 1 you knit all of them, and then the mock cable on needle number 2, purl 2, knit, knit, and knit, purl 2, knit, 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 and that's it. You purl 2, knit 3, you end with purl 2, and round number 4 is the same as round number 3. You also purl 2, knit 3, purl 2, knit 3. So 2, 1, 2, 3. Purl 2 and knit 3. And I am going to continue doing the mock cable stitch around until I have 7 times the mock cable stitch. So when I have repeated the stitch 7 times, and of course I'm going to go around and around, and I will see you when I do that. Okay, so I did my 7 repetitions of the cable, the mock cable stitch. So that means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and right there. And I have them right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now I just finished number 2 needle. I am not going to do the number 3 yet. So what I want to do is put number 1 and number 3 needles in the same needle. So I'm going to pass all these stitches so that they are all on the same needle. There we go. 1, 2, 3 more. Okay, so now what I want to do is on row number 1, which is going that way, because I'm going to be doing different rows. So now I am going to slide 1 and knit 1, slide 1 and knit 1, slide 1, knit 1, slide 1, knit 1, slide 1, knit 1, slide 1, knit 1, and you go all across until you end the 26 stitches that you have here. So I'm going to be working back and forth on the back needle. The mock cable needle is going to stay still for a little while. So now row number 2 of the back needle, I am going to pass 1 as if to purl and purl the rest of the stitches all the way to the end. So you're going to repeat these 2 rows 12 times. That means you're going to be working 24 rows on this same needle. So once I have that, I will come back and show you the next stage. Okay, so I finished my 24 rows and I did one extra one of row number 1 because I want to start the next section on the wrong side. So what I want to do here is this is a little bit, you need to pay attention to this because it's a little bit daunting, but it's you're going to be okay. So now I'm going to purl 15 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So now I want to purl these 2 stitches together and purl 1. Now I leave these stitches here and turn. Now I am going to slide 1 as if to purl, always as if to purl, and knit 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I will knit these 2 stitches together through the back of the loop and then knit 1. Leave those stitches there, turn, and now slide 1 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Purl these 2 stitches together and purl 1. Turn. Now slip 1 and knit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Knit these 2 stitches together through the back of the loop and knit 1. Turn, slide 1 and purl 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. See what I'm doing? I'm picking up 1 stitch from where I'm working here and then another stitch from the leftover ones. So now I'm going to purl these 2 stitches together, purl 1 and turn. We continue, so slide 1, knit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Knit these 2 stitches through the back of the loops and knit 1. And now we turn. See, we have 4 stitches on each side, so you have the same amount of stitches on each side every time you finish a right side row. So pass 1 and purl 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Purl these 2 stitches together and purl 1 and turn. Now pass 1, knit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Knit these 2 stitches through the back and knit 1, turn, pass this one and purl 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Purl these 2 stitches together and purl 1. And now we pass that one and knit all the way to the other side. Six, 7, let's see how many stitches I have. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Knit these 2 stitches together. 15 and knit 1. And now I have my 16 stitches here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Okay, so we already finished this section here. And now we need to pick up stitches along this edge so that we can continue up. So let's do that. With the right side facing me, I am going to pick up my yarn and pick up 13 stitches along this edge. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is very easy. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. There we go. Let me get this one. Okay. And now we're going to continue with this part here. And here we're going to knit, and what follows is purl 2, let's see, okay, slide 1, knit 2, and pass that one over. So continue with your mock cable on this needle, and I'll see you when I finish it. Okay, so I finished my mock cable row, and now I'm going to pick up 13 stitches from this edge here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's easy to see them because they are the ones that are slipped stitches. So let's see, I have 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Wonderful. Oops. That last one is a little bit tight. Okay, so now I'm going to pick up half of what I have on this needle. So I have 16, that means I'm going to pass 8, and so I'll knit them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I should have 21 stitches on each needle, so that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 21. And these stitches belong to the needle where I picked up from the other side. So I'll just pass them. And no problem, so pass these stitches to this needle. And I'll see you when I finish doing this. Okay, so on needles number 1 and number 3, we have 21 stitches, but we want to have our original 13. So we're going to be taking off on each side of the mock cable stitch, not on number 2, not on this needle, but the needles number 1 and number 3, and hitting that edge with the mock cable. So I am going to do this, and I am going to, okay, so that's 1, 2, so I'm going to knit the heel until 3 stitches remaining. So and then when I have 3 stitches left on needle number 1, I am going to do knit 2 stitches together. These 2 stitches, I am going to knit them together. Oops, they're a little bit tight, and then knit the last one. And now I'm going to work on needle number 2, which is my mock cable stitch, and I'll see you when I get there. Okay, so at the beginning of needle number 3, I am going to knit 1 and knit 2 together through the back of the loop. So knit these 2 stitches together, and then I knit across. So it's always the same on needle number 1. At the end of the row, you're going to knit 2 stitches together and then knit 1. And on needle number 3, you're always going to knit 1 and knit 2 stitches together through the back of the loop. And you keep doing that until you have 13 stitches on each needle, and then you're going to go around like at the beginning. So this will be the foot part So we continue doing that until we have 13, 13, and the original 26. Okay, I finished this section here, right in there, which is that. And now I have my original 13 stitches on needles 1 and 3, and needle number 2 continues with the same amount of stitches throughout, so that doesn't change. And that's the mock cable stitch or whatever stitch you want to make. So I am going to continue, which is the same thing as that I did here. I am going to do for the foot for as long as you want your sock to be, but make it about 1.5 inches less than the measurement of the foot. So I will see you when I am almost done. I will continue with the foot part. Okay, so let me show you what we have here. I finished my needle number 3. And what we are going to be doing now is the toe, that section right here. And I have a total of 22 repetitions of the mock cable stitch. So that means 22 times 4, I have 88 rows from the ribbing to where the toe starts. Okay, so now I'm going to take off stitches for the toe. And what we're going to do, remember needle number 1 is this one, number 2 is where the mock cable stitch is, and this is number 3. So needle number 1, you're going to knit to the end of the needle until you have 3 stitches left. Okay, we're almost there. I have 3 stitches left, and now every time you finish a needle or a row, you're going to knit 2 stitches together and then knit 1. Every time you start a needle, except for the bottom of your foot, that's where you don't do anything there. So at the beginning you're going to knit 1 and then knit 2 stitches together through the back. So right there, knit 2 stitches together, and then I'm going to go and knit the whole needle. This is going to be so pretty. The colors are very pretty too, but you know, like if you make a brown or gray socks, those are very, very nice. This is not wool, but it's still very pretty. So once I have 3 stitches left, there we go, I knit 2 stitches together. Oops, this is a little bit tight. Okay, knit 2 stitches together and knit 1. So now on needle number 3, I am going to knit 1 and knit 2 stitches together through the back. Oops. and knit toward the middle. So you're going to repeat. So the next row after this one is you're going to go around your 3 needles without taking any stitches off. And you're going to be doing that 6 times. So that means 12 rows. So on row number 1, you knit to the end, knit 2 together, knit 1. Needle number 2, knit 1, knit 2 together through the back, knit across, knit 2 together, knit 1, and needle number 3, you're going to knit 1, knit 2 together through the back all the way to the middle of the bottom of the sock. And then the round number 2, you don't take anything off, you just go around knitting. And so that will be 6 times, and I will come back and do the next part. Okay, so do you remember we added a stitch at the beginning to make to complete the stitches I needed for the mock cable rib? So now I had one extra one on needle number 2, and on the last row I did knit 2 together at the end of needle number 2. So now I have 2, 4, 6, 7 on needle number 1, 14 on needle number 2, and 7 on needle number 3. So now I am going to go around and take off on every row, and I will do that. So that means I take off at the end of needle number 1, take off at the beginning and end of needle number 2, and take off at the beginning of needle number 3. So until I have 4 stitches on needle number 2 and 2 stitches on each of needles number 1 and number 3. Okay, so here we are. I have 4 stitches on needle number 2, 2 on needle number 1, and 2 on needle number 3. Okay, I'm going to knit the 2 stitches from needle number 3 to, so I can have all of them in one needle. So now we're going to cut and weave these 2 stitches, and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so I have 2 stitches on needle number 1, 4 stitches on needle number 2, and 2 stitches on needle number 3. And I'm going to knit the 2 stitches with the same needle. I'm going to knit the 2 stitches on needle number 1, so I can have them all in 2 needles. That means 4 on one side and 4 on the other. So now what I want to do is cut my yarn and get a sewing needle, a blunt needle, and we're going to be making a Kitchener stitch. So what you want to do is that you want to go into the first one as if to knit in the front one, and then go into the back one as if to purl. Now don't take them off yet. Go as if to knit on the front and again, and as if to purl on the next one, and then as if to purl on the back one, let go and as if to knit, and then on the front one as if to knit, let go, and then as if to purl, and then on the back one I let go of that, as if to purl, and then as if to knit, and then as if to knit, and then as if to purl, and then as if to purl, and then as if to knit, and then as if to knit, and the last one. So make sure that your stitches are nice and neat. So let's do that. Okay, I need to get them a little bit tighter. There we go. And that's it. You can put your yarn inside and weave in the ends, and you're done with your socks. Let me get this last one here. Let's see which one that is. Okay, there we go. Wonderful. Okay, and that's it. And look, they look very nice, very nicely finished. Let me show you the other one also, because that one I still have to weave in the end. See how that looks? Okay, let me show it close. You can see it. So that's the way it's supposed to look. Thank you very much for watching, and please share us with your friends and like our page and subscribe, and I will see you next time. I'll take some pictures of this.